It is a family member of that officer who asked us not to use her name or show her face. She came to us wanting to share what the officer has said about what happened. This person says the officer did not ask her to approach us, but she believes it is the right thing to do. We know her identity and her relationship to the officer, but we have agreed not to disclose that. We talked to her a short time ago. Why are you coming forward?
Because no one else is speaking up for the officers that were involved. Nobody's standing up for the officers, any of them. And that's just not right.
And the person that you are directly related to is?
African American.
Is African American?
Yes.
What did he say happened?
He believes that whatever happened to Mr. Gray happened before he was transported.
Did he hear screaming? Was he in the back? It was saying that he was in the back going crazy maybe and yelling and moving around.
He was irate and he was cursing, he was yelling, and he was kicking. And that's what was heard.
What happened first? Was he secured first?
He was placed into the wagon with cuffs. He wasn't shackled. He was shackled later en route to where they were going. Because he was irate, they had to stop. And at that point, they shackled him. But the officers that shackled him and the officers that placed him in the wagon did not seatbelt him.
He was never seatbelted?
No. It's an unwritten, unspoken rule that when someone is irate in the paddy wagon, you don't reach over someone that's irate, because they still have a mouth, they don't have a muzzle, so they can bite you and they can spit in your face. So you have to get in close proximity to someone in order to seatbelt them.
It has been said that the police who are driving, the person driving the van, or that they will do it, they'll, give them a rough ride just because they gave them so much trouble being arrested sometimes. Is that true? Did that happen in this case?
How could they do that when the arresting officers actually have to call, just like they call for backup? A paddy wagon isn't right there when they arrest somebody. So they have to call for a paddy wagon. So that officer doesn't know what transpired before he got there, and he's not involved in trying to chase this gentleman or manhandle him. He's transportation. So when he arrives, that's basically all that he's supposed to do. And so how can anyone say that it was a rough ride, a rough enough ride for this gentleman to be as injured as he was? And if he was injured in the wagon, then why wasn't the other gentleman injured as well when he's given a statement? Why can't they figure out whether this gentleman was injured when he was being chased or where he was injured? There are a million cameras everywhere.
You think they're hiding something?
Yes, I do.
What would be the reason for that?
Because if they come out and they tell